are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. Healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest News and Talk Station 92.5 Fox News.
We cannot allow that kind of attack on our democracy, an attempted coup d'etat, to occur without consequence.
Democratic Congressman David Cicilline blaming the president for inciting last week's Capitol attack. The House plans a vote tonight on a resolution urging Vice President Pence to use the 25th Amendment to remove the president as unfit. Since that's not expected, impeachment's the next step tomorrow.
The 4-page impeachment resolution also includes a reference to the 14th Amendment, barring anyone, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States from holding any future office.
Fox's Mike Emanuel. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says the president told him in a conversation he does bear some responsibility for what happened last week. Some Republicans are joining Democrats wanting the president out of office now, not wanting to wait 8 days for Joe Biden to take over. Others think this new impeachment is too divisive and a Senate trial may not happen. GOP Congressman Ken Buck told Fox.
This president-elect could gain a lot of goodwill among Republicans and Democrats, frankly, but among Americans generally, if he told everybody, slow down, this president is not an imminent threat to this country at this point.
President-elect Biden, who got his second dose of coronavirus vaccine yesterday, is putting pressure on his COVID response team to be ready to pick up the pace of vaccinations.
State by state, efforts are underway to speed up a painfully slow vaccine rollout. Nationally, a whopping 65% of the 25 million distributed vaccines remain unused.
Fox's Brian Yennes. They celebrated late into the night in Tuscaloosa. Fans took to the streets after Alabama won college football's national championship, beating Ohio State 52-24. America, Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
Slowdowns in Lehigh Acres this morning. There's a crash at Lee Boulevard in Homestead, slowing traffic slightly northbound on Homestead towards Lee. It's not a major backup. Traffic's actually more congested on Lee if you're heading westbound towards Williams Avenue. Also, we're still up to speed on State Road 82, just west of Sunshine to Gunnery. Should only take you about 4 minutes. There is a southbound slowdown on Gunnery Road heading towards 23rd. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by, even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out all the way towards your Friday, before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning, and that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
Tired after a long day of working and taking care of the kids? Take the night off and let KFC do the home cooking for you. Pick up a $20 FU today. Order ahead or use contactless delivery on KFC.com.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners
who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Stay on top of the latest news and information from Fox News. Listen and download the Fox News Hourly Update on your time. The trending stories you need anytime you want it. Listen and download now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Download Perino and Steyerwalt. I'll tell you what.
You know, there's all sorts of ways you could have explained it away. I did more for this country in 4 years than any president had ever done in 8 years. You know, you won't have me to kick around anymore, but I did all of this, and it was the Chinese flu that brought us down, and good luck with Sleepy Joe. I'm out of here. That would have been one way to exit.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. The Fox News Rundown is a weekday morning podcast that dives deep into the major and controversial stories of the day. Hosted by the anchors of Fox News Radio. Subscribe now to hear a perspective of news you won't find anywhere else. Listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad, humbled that you are starting your day listening to this program. Thank you so much. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line whenever you want to join in the conversation. Love to hear from you at Drew Steele Radio on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you subscribe, that would be fantastic. Watch for the time being. That is a great thing. And we appreciate you doing that as well. A lot of people already on board, and so we love seeing you there. All right, so what's going on with impeachment? Look, there's a couple of things that are happening here. Number one, I'm pretty confident that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the rest of the Democrats over there, and including Joe Biden, all understand that the idea of 25th Amendment, the idea of impeachment right now, is all about making sure that the president of the United States in the future does not decide to run again. I mean, that's ultimately what we're talking about here, right? I mean, you can't find the specific language from the president. Jonathan Turley, you remember, is a Democrat lawyer, someone who has not been the biggest fan of the president and his years in office. Legal scholar, constitutional expert Jonathan Turley, remember, Democrat, basically is saying you just don't have it. You just don't have the evidence, and there has to be another way to do this. You're creating precedent for the impeachment of any president who can be blamed for the violent acts of others. That's what you're setting up after the use of reckless or inflammatory language. So be careful what you wish for, because you're setting up some bad precedent. We're going to get into that and what he said specifically. And even Nancy Pelosi just showing her hands. Listen, that's what this is. It's damaging a legacy. And even, I guess the best way to say this is Nancy Pelosi is damaging her legacy. If we lived in a world where legacies are dictated by the facts. What I mean is, Nancy Pelosi understands that she has a media behind her. She has the internet behind her. She has big tech behind her. She has every reason to put all of this out there, knowing full well that if anything were to come of this, whether it's censure, which is being discussed right now, whether it's the impeachment push once again, the waiting 100 days after the president is out of office to bring this up again to an American people who at 100 days are probably going to be like, seriously? This is piling on now. Now it's getting to be ridiculous. I think even the most common sense Democrats, I know it's hard to believe that they may exist, but they probably do, would say enough. But does Nancy Pelosi know something that not many people say, but we all know, which is the legacy of the president of the United States, Donald Trump, will be dictated by the pages that you will comb through on the internet, will be dictated by big tech that will see to it that when your kids and grandkids go to quote unquote Google something, they will see what will be the worst stories about the president in the first couple of pages as opposed to the facts and how we're even going to get to that. Nancy Pelosi understands that her legacy is intact because she is going to have ultimately a media and tech that is going to be on her side, that is going to make sure that her legacy lasts, and the things that our kids and grandkids will see will be the best. The best of... I look, now, granted, I don't know what the best of Nancy Pelosi looks like. It's
bowl of doggy do.
I mean, it's who knows what that looks like, but you understand what I'm saying. They won't see the real Nancy Pelosi. They won't see the things that we have witnessed over the years and decades and what seems like centuries. Even Joe Biden, that seems like it's
not a joke.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about Democrat leadership, where the number one, the number two, and the number three in leadership were all in their 80s, and we were told that there was this big renaissance of youth and a big youth movement in the Democrat Party. Well, it's there. They're fighting and clawing to try to get to the top. But I do want to dig into that a little bit more, too, because even with what we've heard today, waking up this morning, and how we're hearing even yesterday the introduction of the 25th Amendment by Democrats on the House floor.
House Resolution 21, resolution calling on Vice President Michael R. Pence to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the executive departments of the cabinet to activate Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office and to immediately exercise powers as acting president.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's not going to happen. Confirmation yesterday, the president, vice president getting together. Doesn't sound as if, and there's no reason to believe that the vice president is on board with this. Democrats may wish that those that are leaving the administration right now, Chad Wolf from DHS is leaving as well, and that they would band together to try to convince the vice president. It's not going to happen. So there is no 25th Amendment. It's not going to happen. The legal case, Jonathan Turley talked about this, is not there. It's reckless to do this for a lot of different reasons. That's my words, not his. But the other part of this is what really can happen. And truthfully, what we're looking at. What really could happen is something that is long drawn out, something that may not come to fruition because of specific individuals who may not see what you see, one being Joe Manchin, Senator West Virginia, who all of a sudden has more power than just about anybody because he's the one swing vote. He's the one guy that everybody knew that could be a swing vote into the future with regards to the Senate. And all of a sudden that power is going to take place. And I'll play the audio from Brett Baer's program last night because he kind of puts the kibosh on that whole thing. The idea of 25th Amendment or even what we might see moving forward with impeachment. But then there's the other side of this, and I'm telling you, this is something that is being ignored way too much. I don't want to ignore it. I want to recognize it, and I want you to tell me what you think. 239-479-5592. Go ahead, Jake, and just clear out the call screen and the lines. And it's this. The one thing that we look at with tech, and the one thing we've seen with the taking down of Parler by Amazon Web Services and how far this tech tyranny could go. Dan Bongino talked about ISPs, the internet service providers, and could we be looking at that into the future? And will internet service providers soon start to take content down, not allowing you to access certain sites? And if that sounds crazy, it happened in Idaho. But on the other side, on the flip side, in ISP, it's already started in North Idaho and in Spokane, Washington. In that area, has decided to block Facebook and Twitter because their customers were calling to complain about the censorship on the platform. So they said, you know what? You can opt out of this. You can email us and let us know this is something you don't like. But the ISP, your T1 Wi-Fi, confirmed that it's going to block Facebook and Twitter. That they're doing it. They don't condone what Google, Amazon, Twitter, Facebook, and Apple are doing, either to Parler by trying to strong-arm them into submission. Actually, looks like they are trying to exterminate the competition, is what it looks like. I mean, this was from the yourt1wifi.com website. This is what they put out to people there, that the ISPs are already looking to take action. And again, whether you're looking at that and going, wow, the ISP, this one's fighting back. Well, be careful what you wish for, because there might be bigger companies that might come along and want to do the same to you because they don't want you to go to certain websites and certain podcasts or certain audio streams or whatever the case may be. Is that next? And we have to keep an eye on that. But the point I was getting at is this. Through all of this, the one thing that I'm concerned about that we're missing is the changing of history. And not just the changing of history, the tweaking of history, the brushing over history, but this brush being what we will allow you to see, what we will change, almost 1984 Orwellian changing of history. The tweaking of language, the tweaking of information, so that our kids and grandkids will see a past that is not true, that is not factual. Now, am I reaching? Does this sound crazy to you? Does it sound like where are you going with this? And yes, we're going to get into what Joe Manchin said, and yes, we're going to get into what Nancy Pelosi said, and pretty much showing her hand that it's really all about vengeance against the party and against the president, and not making sure that he will not be able to run in 2024, and doing anything and everything they can. Like, what are you afraid of? If this president was so awful and people believe he was so awful, then what would give you the idea that in 2024 he could possibly be even plausible as a candidate? Unless you think that he is, and you're so scared that you will do anything you can to stop him. But I saw this story this morning that just confirmed what I was saying. Look, to the victors get the spoils. We've heard that expression. And there's always been this concern about history changing and history being tweaked because the victors had the chance to spread the word and to tell people of a history that didn't exist, that was quite different. And curators from the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History are doing what, everybody? They're collecting items from the protest Wednesday and what happened at the U.S. Capitol for its political and military history division. Can I say that again? The museum under the umbrella, this is from Breitbart, under the umbrella of the Smithsonian, said Friday that it's looking to archive protest signs, banners, and posters from the quote-unquote Stop the Steal rally and the riots that took place at the U.S. Capitol. This is what the New York Times reported. That's the language that they're using. As an institution, we're committed to understanding how Americans make change, said the museum's director, adding that this election season has offered remarkable instances of the pain and possibility involved in that process of reckoning with the past and shaping the future. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there, and I want you maybe to comment on this. Maybe you think I'm totally off base and this is crazy. 239-479-5592. But is it really? What do you think the Smithsonian Institute plans on doing and how they plan on displaying and archiving what happened last Wednesday? What do you think they're going to do? Now, some might say, well, this is just for the record. Just going to keep, it's generic. It'll just be it's a moment in history. It's a historical pinpoint in history that the Smithsonian one day will be able to say, we have archived different items from that moment in history, and that's all it is. The skeptic, the cynic, might suggest something else. What if all of that is going to be used for a display one day? And what if all of those items are maybe used to make this administration look bad, to make this president look bad, to be evidence of what historically people like Nancy Pelosi and others would like to see, which is the president was twice impeached. The president was, there was talk about the 25th Amendment. The president of the United States inciting a coup. And here's the evidence to show that that took place in history, where our kids and grandkids will walk through the Smithsonian one day and see this and believe that that was the facts, that's all we're going to put out there. And it's just evidence of what people have been saying. And it's all on the record. That's my fear. I worry about that. And I worry that that's part of what we've allowed to happen with the growth of the internet, with the growth of certain institutions and websites, that we have gotten away from written history. That we don't read books anymore. When we go back in history, we don't look at the texts. We look at somebody's website to give us the abridged version. We look at somebody to give us the 3-minute or less version because we just don't have time. And if we're trying to find out what our founding fathers were thinking, what the founders believed would be the right path for this country, what the Constitution meant and means even to this day, there are way too many people that are quick to go to websites and slow to go to original texts. The writings of people in the day, in the era, who were there, who have written testimony before us that we could see and witness, and we don't do that. And my fear is that we're living in a society right now as we move forward where we're going to have a lot of these situations pop. Where there will be people that will do revisionist history, that will do things like Nancy Pelosi's doing to put a stamp on this presidency that will last long after we're gone, and say something about this administration that is not completely true, but it'll be legacy. All right, we'll get to your calls coming up. 239-479-5592. Would like your thoughts. Maybe this is insane. Maybe what I'm talking about you believe is crazy. Okay, well, let me know what you think. We'll get to the Joe Manchin audio about, hey, listen, I know this 25th Amendment thing we got to stop. And even the impeachment thing, or what are we doing here? Maybe already putting a stop to a lot of what the discussion is. We'll get to Nancy Pelosi showing her cards and pretty much laying it out who she, well, not who she is. We know who she is, but what she's trying to accomplish. And then your thoughts as well. Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Big businesses curtailing political contributions after the Capitol riot by Trump supporters. AT&T, GE, Amazon, and others are cutting the money pipeline to Republicans that sought to block the Electoral College certification of President-elect Biden's win. PC sales soared last year as the pandemic forced people to work and attend school from home. International Data Corp says global sales topped 300 million units, a 13% increase from 2019. And stocks pulled back yesterday from their record highs set Friday as investors fret that the riot, planned on social media, will spur Congress to regulate big tech. The Dow dropped 89 points. The tech-heavy NASDAQ lost 165. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Fox Video on demand on the Fox News app. Download the app and just click listen. Plus, when you swipe left, you can listen to your favorite Fox News talk shows live.
Wow, that's huge.
Swipe right for the latest Fox News radio newscasts on demand.
Serious questions must be answered. I'm Dave Anthony.
That's not all. Hear your favorite podcasts from Dana Perino, Bill Hemmer, Martha McCallum, Brett Baer, and many more. Fox News and the Fox News app. Download it today. America's listening to Fox.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Are you ready for the very best? Hello, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples, and I invite you to experience the luxury, safety, and satisfaction of driving a new Genesis. Leading in luxury year after year, Genesis is the highest-ranked luxury brand in initial quality 4 years in a row by J.D. Power and received the industry's premier safety ratings. Right now, you can finance the new 2020 G70 with 0% APR or experience the power, intelligence, and efficiency the all-new 2021 G80 offers, a car that automatically adjusts to match your driving style. Looking for elegance? Take it to new heights in the all-new 2021 G90 for effortless performance and precise handling, and brand new to our lineup, the new 2021 Genesis GV80, the new face of young luxury and the first ever SUV for Genesis, in stock and arriving daily. Visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or online at genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models. For JD Power 2020 award info, visit jdpower.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Keppel here, serial entrepreneur. I hired my first employee in 1988, but I interviewed poorly and didn't provide job training. So 6 hours after she started, I ushered the tearful employee out the door without even putting her on my payroll. Yes, I hired and fired my very first employee on the same day and broke my first payroll law. I was a terrible employer. Years later, I created Patriot Software to help employers with 1 to 100 employees not make mistakes with their payroll. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Even in my 80s, every dive is exciting and enjoyable. When I developed cataracts years ago, I couldn't see well underwater. You can have the best gear and know the best dive spots. If your eyes aren't the best, it's just not the same. And Dr. Scheibo knows that.
Knowing how much Jimbo cares about diving, it was a privilege to fix his vision.
It's great to know that we got eye doctors in our area that care just as much about me as I care about being in the water.
Hi, this is Dr. Scheibel from Community Eye Center. My partner, Dr. Spatafora, and I want to remind everybody, don't be a spreader. The coronavirus is so tiny, 100 million particles fit on the head of a pin. As we run around in our trucks and cars and play golf and go fishing and go to work and do the things we like to do, we are spreading the virus. The virus can only move with us. Over 65, diabetes, COPD, all these folks will be hurt severely by this virus. Wash your hands, be careful, don't be a spreader.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Alan with Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions. My 6 years of service to my country taught me a lot about integrity, trust, and getting the job done and getting it done right. I have integrated much of my Army training into the business. And I mean integrated. I'm actually standing here recording in my fatigues. I understand that it may seem that there are more pest control companies than bugs, but our company is very different. A lot of pest control companies are what we call spray jockeys. You see bugs and they just come and spray. You see more bugs, so they spray more. My team's approach consists of understanding what's causing the bugs to come in. Sometimes it's something as simple as caulking or patching holes. Spraying is not always the answer. If you're tired of the spray jockeys and want real pest control solutions, call us, Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions, today at 595-4867. That's 595-4867. Now serving Marco, Naples, Bonita, and Estero.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle as you're getting off of 75 southbound onto Immokalee Road. There's a trooper with this vehicle, so really make sure to watch that speed as you're passing through. Also, northbound delays building on Logan heading to Immokalee Road. We look great on 951 if you need an alternate. Traffic also congested for a half mile heading north on Goodlip Rank towards Pine Ridge. To avoid this, just stick to US 41. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by. Even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out all the way towards your Friday. Before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning, and that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I'd like to tell you that I'm the best AC mechanic in my company, but I'd be lying to you. I think my NATE certified mechanic team hides my tools from me so I don't hurt myself. You see, I'm the old guy, and I've been doing this work since I was a kid with my dad. Our younger staff are really the best mechanics in this business, and they've been through years of training and years of testing, with continuing education to keep up to date on the latest and greatest things in the air conditioning world. All companies brag about their experience, and we certainly have that, but we're most proud of our team being on the cutting edge and the leaders in technology and application of the modern air conditioning equipment. That's why we've been voted best air conditioning company in Southwest Florida year after year in the News Press polls. It's not me. It's the best team of NATE certified mechanics ever assembled. Call 239-482-1542 and experience the best. License CACO 57313.
January is National Organization Month. Yep, there's a National Organization Month. And of course, it should be now, at the start of the year. A fresh chance to create a little more time, sense, and peace in your everyday.
And that is what our master designers at Closet Factory specialize in. Whether it's your closet, home office, or any part of your home that could be more wonderfully, time-savingly organized, discover how simple getting more can be.
Talk to Closet Factory, give us a call, or visit closetfactory.com.
How do you turn your $600 stimulus into the $2,000 you deserve? Just get the New Year's Sutherland Stimulus. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral are turning your $600 into $2,000. It's the best way to kick off the new year. Get incredible incentives to buy a new Nissan right now, like 0% APR financing. That's right, folks. And when you buy today, you make 0 payments until next year, 2022. Bring us your old car and get up to $10,000 more than its value. Plus, we'll turn your $600 stimulus money into $2,000. You get the money you deserve, not $600, but the full $2,000. That's the New Year's Sutherland Stimulus. Drive new and get more money for your stimulus and trade. $10,000 more for your trade, along with 0% APR, but only for a limited time. Start 2021 at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral right now. Shop online at nissansales.com or CapeCoralNissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much. See dealer for details.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Love to hear from you this morning, 239-479-5592. I see we got Ken and Amy holding on the line, so we're going to get to your phone calls. There's an open line if you want to join us. Whatever it is you want to talk about this morning, maybe you want to talk about impeachment. Hey, you know what we haven't heard? We need to hear from... Man, who would be a good authority on everything that would be Trump and somebody we can trust? Hey, it would be great to hear from Chris Christie. Oh, look at this. Chris Christie has something to say about impeachment.
Yeah, listen, I think they're all...
I don't really care what you say. I can't do it. Yeah, he was on ABC this week, and he has a thought on what should happen, and I just thought it...
Yeah, listen, I think they're all...
Okay, I think you guys don't need to know. I mean, are we really? Is that what we're dying to hear? Are we dying to hear what Chris Christie's impression of what should happen and what he thinks? You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's let this go. Let's let Chris Christie tell everybody what he thinks about Trump. You can only imagine where this is going and what he believes. I mean, it's getting a little outrageous, but let's see what he says. All right. So you have... George Snuffleupagus, however you want to say it, we got to ask, if an impeachment resolution comes to the floor, won't many Republicans be hard-pressed to oppose it?
Yeah, listen, I think they're all going to have to vote their conscience and look at what happened. I mean, what we had was an incitement to riot at the United States Capitol.
Excuse me? we had an incitement to riot at the United States Capitol. Where's your evidence? Chris Christie, man, I wish Chris Christie, can you see if we can reach out to Chris Christie? Is there a way we can get him on this program? I want to know where the evidence is that the President of the United States incited a riot. Now, I really want to know that part of it. Can you tell me, was it, I'm trying to think. Maybe it was this. Let's give Chris Christie a little bit of credit, because maybe it was this statement that the President of the United States made last Wednesday. Maybe it was when he said,
"I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard."
Was that the incitement of violence? Peacefully and patriotically march over to the Capitol? Is that the incitement you're talking about, Chris Christie? I'm just asking.
We had people killed, and to me, there's not a whole lot of question here. So,
So you think it was an impeachable offense?
Before Jordan. Oh, sure.
Yeah, sure. Of course you do. Of course you do. Where's your evidence? Do we even talk about evidence? I mean, are we allowed to discuss evidence anymore? No. It's your gut feeling. What is it? Was it the actual words that he used when he said peacefully march over to the word peacefully? I know, that's code. That's code, everybody. Don't you realize that when the president says peacefully, remember when he did the wink and the nod? You're all good. Peacefully, right? And is that code for riots? Is that what you're suggesting? All right, Ken's in Cape Coral. Ken wanted to talk about, I'm not sure what Ken wanted to talk about. Let's ask. Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, good morning, Ken. What's on your mind this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, the handwriting's on the wall. I believe Pence and Trump hookup signals the end of Biden becoming president, because I think the Don said to Pence, "Hey, instead of being called a traitor, you could be called a hero," because the both of them getting together, the Don probably said to him, hey, Mike, I could be president 4 years and you president for 8 years. I may make him an offer he can't refuse. And Supreme Court is turned around. Because
let me ask. Well, Ken, let me ask with all due respect. Let me ask you this. I mean, it's done. We can move on now. As far as the president 4 more years, it's just not going to happen. Joe Biden is going to be the next president of the United States. There isn't going to be anything magical that's going to be taking place in the next couple of weeks. We have to come to that realization, because we really do. Look, I understand like you do, and I feel the same way as many people do. The concerns that I had during election season, the concerns that I still have, the idea that we can't stop the fight to continue to this ideological fight, everybody, to move forward with making sure that we keep an eye on what's happening here locally and in the state, and making sure that conservative constitutional values win the day, because they win for everybody in the country. But at the same time, I would still like to see evidence come out and proof come out and a push come out to see whether or not there was some there with all the accusations that were coming out that we have discussed on this program about voter irregularity. And there's no reason why. Listen, if the left in this country thinks that 100 days after the president of the United States leaves office is still fine for them to push an impeachment process to do what? To remove him from office? He's already out of office. It's just to destroy a legacy and to make sure he doesn't run in 2024. If they can do that, then I would say that we can continue to go to courts and present evidence about the voter irregularity and see whether or not something can come out of that, so that we can prove the case regardless of how long it takes, so that this won't happen again. So does that make sense? Do you understand? I mean, it may not be what you want to hear, but.
Yeah, but there is ironclad evidence that an insurrection occurred, because the break into the Capitol was staged by the Dems to make it look like they were Trump people. They weren't. And they have the cops, they have them now under pressure, where the chief had to resign because he knows that the officers are going to say
Well,
that
Ken
he ordered us to do it.
the only, and I think the thing, and listen, Ken, we've got other people that are waiting, so let me just run, and I appreciate the call. Call anytime, please, 239-479-5592. And listen, there's going to have to be that evidence presented if that exists. We're going to have to see that all for ourselves. I mean, it's, it's frustrating what happened. It's frustrating that a few people at a hundreds of thousands of individual march have made this happen, and now we have media, and we have politicians, and we have corporations that are looking to dox, that are looking to go after, that are looking to ruin. It's an awful situation. But all right, let's see what. All right, Amy's in LA. Amy wanted to weigh in on impeachment and had some questions. Hey, Amy, go ahead.
Good morning, Drew. Thank you so much for this forum. Maybe this is just my political fantasy, but okay, so let's say that this impeachment goes through, and maybe this could be a good thing, maybe this is a dangerous thing, but then the president has, and his attorneys, have a total uninterrupted forum to present the case of voter fraud. And could we not then pressure our senators to really look into this and perhaps overturn an election? Could we then stage enough votes to vote these fraudulent senators out of office like we can, like say they did to Walker, they recalled his election on enough
at a state level. Right. They did that at a state level. So the state in Georgia, the state of Georgia would have to do something like that. They would have to have the proof and the pressure and Well,
so then could you not then even go even farther and at a state level get enough votes or enough signatures? Because the president believes 80 million people actually voted for him to get Biden-Harris out of office, to recall the presidential election. Is that possible?
Well, all of this, first of all, you would have to, I mean, if we're doing this and we're rehashing the election and we're continuing to do this, and believe me, I understand where you're coming from, and I understand everybody else's frustrations as well. But number one, the evidence has to be able to be presented, and judges have to be willing to take this on and take it up and present the evidence. And if that doesn't make it past that point, then all bets are off. And the frustration of so many has been, as you know, the fact that didn't happen. And all we wanted was to be able to present it. So that's the first thing. The second thing. What's that?
You, Drew, let me ask you, doesn't a justice oversee an impeachment process? Isn't the head justice, the lead justice, Roberts, does he oversee? So then is the case then not presented before a judge and that opportunity is there for the president?
Yeah, well, now you have to trust that is going to be allowed, and that is going to be allowed to be presented, and that's going to be something that is going to be considered something needed or allowed during the case. I mean, there's a lot of things. And listen, Amy, we've got to run, but thanks for the call in LA. I appreciate it. Some great perspective there. I get where you're going with all of this and how people are still, willing to ideologically fight, that they still are not willing to accept everything because too many people were willing to just put it aside, say, oh, shucks, we can't fight this. And you will basically just accept this. And there are people that don't. And the easy remedy to all of this has always been the transparency and the presentation of all the evidence. Look, if you really want to humiliate this president and you really want to humiliate the right in this country, conservatives, let them have their day and let them present the evidence that you can one by one dismiss and dismantle and then prove how crazy their thoughts and ideas were. And that would have been the perfect scenario, but it never happened. All right, Ed and Kurt, we got more calls coming up. Let's take a break, Jake, and when we come back, we'll get to some more calls. Also, talk more about this Well, this impeachment, look, it's going to happen. The House is going to pass this. The Senate's going to be an interesting situation, and how long do they really think they're going to get this done sooner rather than later? And the answer is no. Even Joe Biden's like, hey, can I get a little love here in some way, shape, or form? Why does it all got to be about Trump? As I'm being inaugurated, we're going to be talking about that. I don't think that's what he wants. All right, we'll get to that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash in LaBelle at State Road 29 and Helms Road is slowing traffic northbound on 29, westbound slowdowns on Helms Road. Also, there is a crash getting onto the interstate from Daniels Parkway to head southbound on I-75. Traffic is slowing down, taking their time passing through this crash, so give yourself a couple extra minutes. Also, the interstate is up to speed if you're heading to and from Lee and Collier for right now. A disabled vehicle getting off of I-75 southbound onto Immokalee Road as well. There's a tow truck here. They're trying to remove the vehicle. That's Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
73 degrees for your Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy. We are going to see some occasional light to moderate rain passing by with a mostly cloudy sky. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Rush Limbaugh. This is the Fox.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage. This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
2.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Is going to vote the day after tomorrow on impeachment. It seems like House Speaker Pelosi is going to have the votes. Is there any scenario where you see that the U.S. Senate would try and convict President Trump?
I don't see any of that because, you know, if there would be 48 Democrats until we seat Warnock and Senator Ossoff. So until that happens, you need 67 votes. I think my arithmetic, that means we have 19 Republicans. I don't see that, and I think the House should know that also. We've been trying to send that message over. They know the votes aren't there. You would think that they would do that. I think this is...
Yeah, no, you would think that they would do that, but Nancy Pelosi, this is like vengeance. This is that was Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, senator, who was telling Brett Baer yesterday, listen, the numbers aren't there. It's not going that. So why is she doing this? Well, it's obvious why she's doing it, isn't it? I mean, she made her intentions known on 60 Minutes over the weekend. If people are trying to figure out, well, what is she thinking? Like, why would you do this? You don't have the numbers. You can't get this done fast enough. I know you think you can. You're not going to get it fast enough so that you're going to get the president out of office. That's not going to happen. So then what's your intention? It was Leslie Stahl who asked.
There is a possibility
that after all of this, there's no punishment, no consequence, and he could run again for president.
And that's one of the motivations that people have for advocating for impeachment.
Won't that take more than the 10 days? I mean, does it actually make sense?
Well, I like the 25th Amendment because it gets rid of him. He's out of office. But there is strong support in the Congress for impeaching the president a second time.
All right, so did you hear that part?
And that's one of the motivations that people have for advocating for impeachment.
What's the motivation? The motivation is running for a second term. Do you see? She pretty much called it out. That even if 100 days from now, Nancy Pelosi decides that and the Senate decides, because they have the numbers, that they're going to quote unquote impeach the president, a president who won't be in office. Like, why would you do that? Why would you 100 days later, after everything is said and done and people want to move on? I mean, I'm sure there's even Democrats. Why would you want to bring that back? You want to bring it back because, just like Nancy Pelosi said, the reasoning behind this and the impetus for it and
that's one of the motivations that people have for advocating for impeachment.
The reason why they're advocating for impeachment is because, like she said, she wants to make sure that in the future the president will not have the ability to run again like in 2024. What are you afraid of? A rhetorical question, but one that has to be answered. If he is such a disaster, if you really believe he's an insurrectionist, that he's somebody who is looking for a coup and inciting violence, and like Chris Christie said, it's an insurrectionist mob, he was inciting it. Really, where's the evidence? You don't have it. But if you honestly believe that, then on its own, shouldn't it stand the reason that the American people would look and say, yeah, no, not having it? Unless you're afraid of something. What are you afraid of that? Well, answer that question. Because that's what they're trying to do. And then the revisionist history that comes afterwards that we discussed, that I kind of want to talk about a little more this morning, and how that's coming too. That is coming too. It's not just ISPs that are soon going to not have you be able to visit your favorite sites. It's not just big tech coming along and saying that apps can't be here and we're not going to host, if you're somebody who is like, listen, I'm not going to shop at Amazon anymore. Well, Amazon hosts probably, I think they're like 60% of the hosting in the country. They're probably going to host the site that you're going to go to shop at. I hate to say that. But that's just the reality when people are like, well, we'll boycott. We just won't go shop at Amazon. The intentions are well-meaning, but if the website that you go to that's the alternative is being hosted by Amazon or Google for that matter, because if Amazon doesn't have it, then Google does, then how does that work? And I'm not saying you shouldn't. If that's something you want to do, that's great. But the reality is that's how tightly woven this web is. All right, 239-479-5592. We'll get back to more of your calls coming up. You ready to go to break, Jake? It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Are you ready for the very best? Hello, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples, and I invite you to experience the luxury, safety, and satisfaction of driving a new Genesis. Leading in luxury year after year, Genesis is the highest-ranked luxury brand in initial quality 4 years in a row by J.D. Power and received the industry's premier safety ratings. Right now, you can finance the new 2020 G70 with 0% APR, or experience the power, intelligence, and efficiency the all-new 2021 G80 offers, a car that automatically adjusts to match your driving style. Looking for elegance? Take it to new heights in the all-new 2021 G90 for effortless performance and precise handling. And brand new to our lineup, the new 2021 Genesis GV80, the new base of young luxury and the first ever SUV for Genesis, in stock and arriving daily. Visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or online at genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models. For JD Power 2020 award info, visit jdpower.com.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
He points a finger at himself. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump, who's facing a possible second impeachment, reportedly accepts some blame for what happened last week. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says President Trump accepts some responsibility for the Capitol riot, but McCarthy says he doesn't believe impeachment is the right move, saying it would only further divide the country. The House is expected to take up one article inciting an insurrection, with a vote planned tomorrow evening. Lawmakers are sure to keep an eye on President Trump today as he heads to the Texas border town of Alamo, where he will give his first public appearance nearly a week after the riot that left 5 people dead. Dave?
Now, Rachel, House Democrats say the president must face the consequences and will do one thing before taking up impeachment.
A vote tonight is expected to approve a resolution put forward by Democrats urging Vice President Mike Pence and the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove President Trump from office, an unlikely outcome.
Fox's Jared Halpern. That would set up impeachment tomorrow, though a Senate trial before Joe Biden becomes president next Wednesday is not expected. And Democratic Senator Joe Manchin told Fox,
This impeachment doesn't help anything. That's the thing I'm talking about. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Now, another member of Congress has tested positive for the coronavirus, and House Democrat Pramila Jayapal is angry about it, tweeting it happened after being locked down last week in a secure Capitol room during the attack, and she claims several Republicans refused to wear a mask and mocked colleagues and staff who offered them one. They're celebrating at Alabama again, a third college football championship in 6 years.
Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped.
The Heisman Trophy winner scored 3 touchdowns on ESPN, leading Alabama past Ohio State 52-24 last night. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
A crash getting onto 75 southbound from Daniels Parkway, slowing traffic just a touch here. Flashing lights, make sure to watch that speed as you're passing through. Also slowdowns in Lehigh Acres on Columbus heading north of State Road 82. The best way to get around this, just take Homestead or Bell Boulevard. Also delays in Collier Building on Immokalee Road heading west to I-75. There is a slowdown as well in Cape Coral on Palm Tree Boulevard just north of Cape Coral Parkway. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by, even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out all the way towards your Friday. before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning, and that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Starting a small business requires strange tactics. I started my business in the basement of a factory in 1986. There was no heat, no air conditioning, and I used blankets as my office walls. Instead of customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes, and I was broke. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. Strange? Yeah, I looked like a goof, but I didn't care. I had my late model 1970s mustache to comfort me. Hi, I'm Mike Capel. Now, 30 years later, I still use strange business tactics, like making payroll simple and incredibly inexpensive for small businesses. Our payroll starts at just $10 a month. Go to patriotsoftware.com and enter promo code RADIO, and I'll give you 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network, download and listen to the Media Buzz Meter with Howard Kurtz.
Assange was charged with 17 counts of espionage and one of computer misuse over the WikiLeaks publication of those thousands of leaked military and diplomatic documents. Now, his lawyers say, he's acting as a journalist. I'd like to see that testimony in court. I've never regarded Julian Assange as a journalist. I don't think he takes the precautions that journalists do. I think he just tries to do damage to America.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. America is listening to Fox News. Did you hear the news? Now you can. With instant updates from Fox News for Amazon Alexa, breaking stories and top headlines, daily coronavirus developments, the economy, and so much more. Brought to you by Fox News, America's #1 cable news network. Plus, setup couldn't be easier because everything's ready to go in the app. Just say,
Alexa, play news from Fox.
In Fox News. It's the latest when you need it, on demand, from Fox News and Amazon Alexa.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There is the talk and text line. So anytime you want to text or you want to just call, we would love to hear from you. For the time being, streaming live on both YouTube and Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's. And while you're at YouTube, if you want to subscribe, hey, that sounds good. All right, so a couple of things we are going to get to. We're certainly going to talk about the impeachment process this morning and what has been discussed and whether or not this is something that is even going to happen, that the president is going to be leaving office before his time is done, January 20th. If you're following the State Department website, that said it was supposed to be yesterday at 1949 hours there on the site. Donald J. Trump's term ended, really. And then you come to find out that the State Department, it was manipulated by a disgruntled staffer to say that the president, his last day in office was going to be January 11th, sparking resignation rumors online and BuzzFeed picking it up and all of these. It's interesting how many disgruntled individuals seem to be surrounded by around the president, and how many people do these kind of things. And, on the surface, you might say, well, all these disgruntled employees, all these people leaving early, all these people that have something to say about the president. And it's interesting. I mean, isn't that proof enough? And then some might say, yeah, I'm not really sure that they were necessarily on board since the beginning, some of these individuals. And dare I say that as soon as things started looking like it was time to get out because maybe they were concerned about their own legacy, that they were going to jump rather than be there for what would be the ideological fight, so to speak. But a disgruntled staffer. Anybody want to explore that anymore? And yeah. And so, there are those that are going to try to make it sound as if, well, you couldn't do this. I mean, the president of the United States inciting violence, right? That's what we were told. It's because of him and that he should be impeached. Except when you ask someone to give you the evidence to show that there was an incitement of violence and a coup, you can't find it. Boy, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. It was even Jonathan Turley, who was saying, listen, if you're planning on doing this, I'm not really sure that's a good idea. In seeking his removal for incitement, legal scholar, constitutional expert, someone who is a Democrat, Jonathan Turley, warned that Democrats would gut not only the impeachment standard, but free speech, all in a mad rush to remove a president just days before his term is going to end anyway. Congress is about to seek the impeachment of a president for a speech that is protected under the First Amendment. It would create precedent for the impeachment of any president who can be blamed for the violent acts of others after the use of reckless or inflammatory language. Nevertheless, on the heels of the vice president's confirmation that he pledges to work with Trump through the end of his term, thus confirming earlier reports that he would not acquiesce to Pelosi's demands about invoking the 25th Amendment, Democrats are raring to go on that impeachment vote tomorrow. They are ready to do this. And Jonathan Turley, Fox News, was mentioning that, look, they're suggesting impeaching a president over a speech that many called reckless, but it's a type of vicarious impeachment in the sense that he doesn't actually call for violence in the speech. In fact, he tells the followers to be peaceful. He says the reason they should go to the Capitol is to support members who are challenging the election and to encourage other members to join them. So Jonathan Turley is making the case that be careful what you wish for, because if you're going to start talking about inciting violence or language that incites violence that doesn't have any incitement of violence in the language, then you're opening up the door in a slippery slope. Now, I'm not saying that there were people in the past that may have done something to the effect of inciting people to do things that would be violent. I mean, you can't find any proof of that, or isn't like a.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
Get up in the face of some Congress people. That's not inciting violence, right? That just means that you want. To Cory Booker's in Cory Booker's defense, that was pre-COVID when he said that. So really, getting up in people's face. Nobody thinks that the vernacular of getting up in people's face is a violent move. Do they? Anyway, that's just one example. I mean, you don't have any other examples. There's no acts of or discussions of any kind of violent people in former like Obama administration officials. Nobody did anything like that.
Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
Well, that was Eric Holder. Yeah, but when he meant we kick them, he meant like kicking it, like we have fun. We isn't that Jake the millennial? Is that part of the millennial the vernacular? Is that the language? Like when you're kicking it, you're hanging out, right? I mean, it's kind of fun. You're sitting around, maybe watching TV, playing a video game. Swamp Wars of 2742.net, something like that, right? Exactly. That's all it is. It's just hanging out. I'm just kicking it with my friends. Okay. But you just keep going about what you're doing. And again, we brought this up earlier Look, Nancy Pelosi is going to go through this. The Democrats are going to go through this because they want to destroy the legacy of this president in any way, shape, or form, and the opportunity for the president to possibly run again in 2024 because you're afraid of what? What are you afraid of? That you might lose? Or I don't know what it is. I mean, in and of itself, if the president certainly has reasons for people not to vote for him, then you wouldn't have to worry about those kind of things. Interesting that you would help it along. 239-479-5592. We need somebody like... you need an Andrew Cuomo. You need somebody that's... Well, I guess you already have Joe Biden, so that's not really fair because, I mean, if you're looking at Joe Biden...
Hey, Esther!
You definitely have your guy, right? I mean, Joe Biden is president of the United States. Cannot wait for all the things that are coming your way in the first 100 days. You certainly don't want the first 100 days of a Joe Biden presidency to be interrupted by people talking about, going after a president that's no longer in office. You would want to be talking more about, tax hikes on everybody and the economy that people are concerned about, and whether or not the new president of the United States is going to have to deal with a recession and maybe reparations. That'll be part of the discussion. Hey, what's going to happen along the border? I'll bet you there'll be tons of people wanting to come across the border and what that means, and health care to illegals and the taxes and the burden that will be on you. But nothing to see here move along, and all the regulations that have to come back, and even what's going on with energy. And hey, we got to slow down the oil production. We can't be the leader in the world in something that is so detrimental to the environment and our future in breathing. You understand that we want to get all that done. We don't want to be distracted by an impeachment. But we need somebody tough and strong to speak out on things like COVID, like Andrew Cuomo. Isn't it interesting what Andrew Cuomo said yesterday? How about this, everybody?
We simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We will have nothing left to open.
So maybe Andrew Cuomo should be some kind of economic czar for Joe Biden in his presidency to maybe help out with that, because did Andrew Cuomo just say we can't stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass, that it's too high and we have nothing left to... Oh, really? He says that after there's nothing left and there's nothing left open. Really? It is... it's funny, but that it's... When I hear Andrew Cuomo talking, I for some reason, like the circus clown show comes to mind. I don't know why, but he knows what's going on, right?
We must reopen the economy, but we must do it smartly and safely.
What does smartly and safely look like? Does smartly and safely look like what Andrew Cuomo ended up doing after his dismal vaccine rollout? Remember, it was picking and choosing who got the vaccine, to the point where vaccines were being thrown in the trash because they couldn't be used because of this horrible decision that the governor in New York was making about picking and choosing winners and losers in the vaccine lottery and who got to receive it. And interesting how the New York Times reported on that as well, as far as the fight breaking out over which interest groups get vaccines first. Can I say that again? On December 20th, 2020, there was a fight in New York, in the state of New York, about which interest group got the vaccine first. Companies, unions, industry, trade associations, lobbying. Like, my group needs to get it first. How about the individuals? How about you look at the numbers? But they didn't do that in New York. And now all of a sudden it's like Andrew Cuomo, who's what? Who is... Here's what you need to know. Why did Andrew Cuomo change his mind? Why all of a sudden has he been standing up and harshly saying, come on now?
We simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We will have nothing left to open.
Knowing that the state was pressured and lobbied into individuals who would get the vaccine first, and and that if those hospitals did not give it to those interest groups, due to equity first, that they would be fined in the millions of dollars, and being afraid to do anything, they ended up throwing vaccines away that could have been life-saving for individuals, and administering less than half the vaccines it's received, and the threats to hospitals, that understanding where we are now and how, what a failure it is. Man, I'll tell you what, in the world that we live in today, all you have to do is say that, is put that message out, and you tell me, and you might want to mark this date. I'll bet you, if you mark this date, that a few years from now, whether it's the governor running for re-election or whether he wants to run in the future for president of the United States, that a willing media will put this out about how strong and tough Andrew Cuomo was about getting the city back on track and back on its feet. And they'll use that. And it'll be so far ahead of time that people will forget. And an internet that will show everything positive about a governor as opposed to the negative, because to the victor get the spoils. To those that control the internet, they get to control the information that you have. Just putting that out there. Maybe I'm wrong. 239-479-5592. If you want to call right now, we'll get to your calls coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. You can watch. We are on YouTube and Facebook, both streaming at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube if you'd like. That's for the time while we're here, while they keep letting us do it. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash getting onto 75 southbound from Daniels Parkway, slowing traffic just a touch here. Flashing lights, make sure to watch that speed as you're passing through. Also slowdowns in Lehigh Acres on Columbus heading north of State Road 82. The best way to get around this, just take Homestead or Bell Boulevard. Also delays in Collier Building on Immokalee Road heading west to I-75. There is a slowdown as well in Cape Coral on Palm Tree Boulevard just north of Cape Coral Parkway. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
73 degrees for your Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy. We are going to see some occasional light to moderate rain passing by with a mostly cloudy sky. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Shouldn't you feel amazing? Hello, this is Dr. Heiler in Naples from the Feel Amazing Institute. If you suffer from chronic knee pain, back pain, or neuropathy, I have solutions for you. Regenerative medicine and stem cell treatment options that are now approved and often paid for by Medicare. Call my office for a free telephone consultation at 239-330-1000. That's 330-1000. This is Dr. Heiler, board-certified chiropractic neurologist. My office combines regenerative medicine, chiropractic, and neurology to help you feel amazing again. Knee pain, back pain, and neuropathy, I have affordable and Medicare-friendly solutions for you. I only do 5 free consultations per week, so please call right away. 239-330-1000. Also at feelamazing.com.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors. My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
So, you're in the market for new appliances. You have a choice. You can chase around sizing up refrigerators, opening oven doors, poking your nose into top-load washers, while wondering if the quality meets your standards and the prices are fair. Or you can go to Good Deals Appliances. Starting at Good Deals Appliances makes all the sense in the world. They feature the top names in appliances like Genair, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana. But the best part about shopping at Good Deals Appliances is their price guarantee. If you ever find a lower price on the same appliance, Jay and his team at Good Deals Appliances will beat it. Every time, guaranteed. When you need appliances, make your first stop your last stop. Good Deals Appliances. 3 locations to serve you. 41 at Gladiolus in Fort Myers, Pine Island Road in Cape Coral, and on Naples Boulevard near Lowe's and Costco in Naples.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. We're going to get to your calls coming up in just a second. I just saw this story this morning. Did you hear about this, Jake? This is a big deal for those that are into the ET extraterrestrial and all that kind of. I know Ian Hicken is more into the paranormal, the space stuff, and I think even Trey at night. I think between Trey and Ian together, they're into the paranormal, or what is it? Not paranormal. Sorry, that's just Ian. Into the space ET alien stuff. The Juno spacecraft orbiting Jupiter has discovered an FM radio signal coming from the moon Ganymede. The find is a first-time detection from the moon. Juno was traveling across the polar region of Jupiter, where magnetic field lines connect to Ganymede, when it crossed a radio source. An FM radio signal. How about that, Jake? That's kind of a big deal. You know, it's funny because as I heard about this story this morning and I was reaching out to some friends, they actually sent me the audio of the FM radio signal coming from the Jupiter moon known as Ganymede. And here it is. Here you go.
The villages, friendliest hometown.
Oh.
The villages, America's friendliest hometown.
Hey, that's Joe Biden singing the Villages song from the moon out of Jupiter. How unusual that is. Didn't think that. 239-479-5592. Sorry about that. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, more on impeachment. Listen, Nancy Pelosi wants impeachment more than she wants, I don't know, chocolate ice cream in a freezer. She wants this impeachment because all she wants is to destroy the president's legacy and ultimately take away an opportunity for him if he's impeached. And there is a trial in the Senate that he would not have the ability to run again in 2024. What are you afraid of, Nancy? What are you Democrats so afraid of? That seems to be interesting. We can get to that coming up. Also, some more on what people have been talking about with regard to the latest on COVID. Hey, you know, there was a college championship last night in football. And I thought that shouldn't have been, because the way people have talked about COVID in the past in college football, some things that they thought would happen didn't happen. We'll get to that coming up as well.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part, the price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy payroll customer.
Well, it's very easy to use. From the login and the setup was extremely easy. I didn't have to call anyone for help. I was able to do it on my own. And I love the fact that I can run my payroll and print my pay stubs, and then you guys do all of the filing for me. So I get a quarterly report that everything's been filed on my behalf, and then at the end of the year I can print out my W-2s. So I use you guys. I tell everybody, it's the easiest thing I've ever done. Why anybody doesn't use y'all, I don't know.
Visit us at PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says he does bear some blame for last week's riot at the Capitol, according to the House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
McCarthy relaying that message to his fellow House Republicans on a call yesterday, according to 2 sources familiar with that call. Now this, as the House is set to move forward on a single article of impeachment, incitement of insurrection. The article reads in part, quote, everyone involved in this assault must be held accountable, beginning with the man most responsible for it, President Donald Trump.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. The president heads to Alamo, Texas today to speak at a section of border wall. Lisa Montgomery's federal execution's on hold.
A federal judge ordered a stay of execution to hold hearings to determine if she's mentally competent to be executed. The federal appeals court upheld the stay. Montgomery was to be lethally injected today for strangling a pregnant woman in 2004 and stealing her unborn baby.
Fox's Jack Callahan. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
A couple crashes on Daniels Parkway. There's a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard that's slowing traffic for a mile and a half heading west to Gateway. So really keep that in mind as you're heading out of Lehigh. Also a crash at Daniels and Plantation, slowing traffic westbound on Daniels starting from 6 Mile. There is a crash as well in Colonial. This is at Dynasty, which is slowing traffic heading west of Tree Line towards I-75. But Colonial is still faster than Daniels Parkway. That's Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by, even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out all the way towards your Friday. before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning, and that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Trust all along.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. France Eye Care, giving you a reason to smile in 2021 with a state-of-the-art laser vision correction procedure that's easy on the eyes. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons are the first practice in Southwest Florida to bring you what's called the SMILE procedure, the latest technology in laser vision correction. SMILE is a lot like LASIK, but with a smaller incision and no flap. And a smaller incision means minimal interruption to the nerves on the eyes. And you're not going to get dry eye. I had my LASIK done at France Eye Care. You should too. It is a fantastic team, and what they did absolutely, undoubtedly changed my life. So, to see if you qualify, schedule your free SMILE screening at France Eye Care today. Just dial star 2020 from your mobile phone. Financing is available and it's affordable. Give them a call today. Star 2020.
France Eye Care.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all break them. That's why your small business needs more than resolutions. It needs solutions. And you can get them with Comcast Business. Whether you want to work more efficiently with fast, reliable internet and advanced Wi-Fi, make your business safer with powerful cybersecurity solutions, or stay productive with 24/7 support, we've got the solutions you need for your business to get there. So make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with an amazing offer from Comcast Business to kick off 2021. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 2/7/21. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Hey, we stream live on YouTube and on Facebook, both at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You can like on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. Hey, for the time being, why not? And, speaking of why not do Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics? The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD coming up at 7:50. Look, with all the things that are going on and as serious as it is, and I get it, gotta kind of lighten things up just a little bit. Just a little bit, because otherwise we're going to drive ourselves crazy. And it doesn't mean, listen, don't take those words and say, well, that's it, Drew Steele's out. He doesn't want the ideological fight. He just is giving in. He's caving. No, that's not what I'm saying. We can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, everybody. We can certainly continue to have the ideological fight and figure out what exactly is happening here and moving forward to call out and identify some of the things that are being said by Democrats. And at the same time, we can also lighten it up a little bit. All right, so I want to get to your calls and get your thoughts on some of what was said. This is something I want to check on because this just popped up on my feed, and I want to see if this is right. So you have, let me see. This was just on, oh gosh, it's gone. Okay, this is MSNBC just a little while ago. This is a MSNBC analyst now, Claire McCaskill. Former Senator Claire McCaskill now goes over to MSNBC. Gets a sweet gig after everything is said and done. And what does she say about the situation that happened last week? The riots on Capitol Hill and Republicans, and as you can imagine where this is going. Now, this is, if I haven't heard this yet, so I'm listening to this as you're listening to it. But I just want to get this right. All right, here, listen to this. Here we go.
Why can't Republicans stand up and say that to their voters?
The Republicans on Capitol Hill have bought into the lies from day one. They either ignored them, or they looked the other way, or worst of all, they embraced them.
So already we see where we're going here. We have Claire McCaskill, former U.S. Senator, now on MSNBC, establishing this idea that, the president is insurrection, a coup, and you have Republicans on Capitol Hill who, fell for all of this and went along with it. And so they're complicit in all of it. You see where we're going here, right?
And the big lie that Donald Trump started committing, the crime against America that Donald Trump began.
Oh, good. All right. What is tell us the crime.
It began months ago.
Yeah. When
he started telling people that believed in him that if he didn't win, the election was a fraud. And he No. It wasn't about if he didn't win, it was a fraud. It was that we wanted to find out about the possibility of there being some fraud in the election. But you spin it any way you want. He continues to embrace the big lie. And unfortunately, the majority of Republicans on Capitol Hill voted for the big lie, even after they watched Donald Trump's supporters beat police officers with an American flag. So that's where we are. And if we want unity, and I think Joe Biden desperately wants it, I think all of us want unity. We want a coming together. We want to stitch this back together. It has to begin with Republicans acknowledging that there was no massive fraud, that Donald Trump's lawyers had all the evidence, and the evidence was not there. It was rumors. It was internet conspiracies. It was edited videotape. It was people trying to make a buck. It was anything but massive fraud. And until Republicans can do that, until they can reject the big lie, they can't even open their mouths about unity. Shut up about unity.
To shut up about unity? Okay, so Republicans, we can't talk about unity and unifying the country and doing anything like that. I think the funny part of it is that isn't Joe Biden's whole thing America United? And here you have the left and you have Democrats, both the same thing in the media, same thing, all telling us that we need to shut up about unity. We can't talk about unity or anything like that. And you're the ones that are tearing apart any possibility of there being even a hint of unity. When we all wanted to talk about transparency and we want transparency in elections, we have Democrats who don't want it. They don't want transparency. We don't get any of that. When we have Nancy Pelosi, who is continuing to tell us that, there may not be any there when it comes to the possibility of doing something with regard to this president and an impeachment. And why you would even do that if the president's going to be out of office anyway. Why would you even continue to pursue this, as she tells Leslie Stahl over the weekend?
There is a possibility that after all of this, there's no punishment, no consequence, and he could run again for president.
And that's one of the motivations that people have for advocating for impeachment.
That's the motivation that they have for impeachment. It's because they don't want him to run. This sounds unifying. I know it's Republicans are not the ones that want to be unified or have a unified country around the Constitution and the rule of law. No, that's not us. That's you. Yeah, right, Nancy Pelosi. Okay, so there's Nancy Pelosi, and
won't that take more than the 10 days? I mean, does it actually make sense?
Well, I like the 25th Amendment because it gets rid of him. He's out of office.
Yeah, this is so unifying, right? That's what we want to do. We want the 25th. Oh, so unifying, yeah.
But there is strong support in the Congress for impeaching the president a second time.
Oh, yeah, we got to do it. Everybody wants it. We all want it. And then I like this part of it with Leslie Stahl. In case you missed this, the unifying, the unifier that is Nancy Pelosi. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Pardons himself.
What if he pardons these people who are terrorists on the Capitol?
Or pardons
What if he does
himself.
that? He can only pardon himself from federal offenses. He cannot pardon himself from state offenses, and that's where he's being investigated in the state of New York.
Yeah, you bet. Unifying. We got unifying here, everybody. The president. We're going to go after him. We're going to follow him down every the trail and street and hole. And you better believe it. We're going right. Yeah, unifying. Oh, it's just so right. So we should shut up about unity. Because. And we can't open our mouths until Republicans decide to denounce everything that has to do with the questions about voting irregularities or anything that the Democrats tell us to do. Then all bets are off. Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, you want some unity? Here's some unity. Chris Christie's got some unity. Don't you want to know what Chris Christie thinks?
Yeah, listen, I think they're all...
I don't either. No. You do. You do want to know. See, there is a unifier. The unifier is Chris Christie in all of this. You want unity, Democrats? Here's your unity. You got somebody who's completely on board with the idea of impeachment and inciting riots. No, I'm not joking. Chris Christie asked about that with George Snuffleupagus asking him about unity. No, not unity, but saying... If an impeachment resolution comes to the floor, won't many Republicans be hard-pressed to oppose it? And what does Chris Christie say, the unifier?
Yeah, listen, I think they're all going to have to vote their conscience and look at what happened. I mean, what we had was an incitement to riot at the United States Capitol.
By who? By the president?
We had people killed, and...
Oh, just stop. We had an incitement of a riot by the president? Where's your evidence? Chris Christie's a unifier. Because what Chris Christie is doing is he's unifying with Democrats. See, that's how it works, everybody. If you want to unify this country, all you have to do is exactly what the Democrats tell you to do. That's it. What the media tells you to do, what Democrats tell you to do, that's it. You want unity in this country, you can have it. All you have to do is just stop. You just have to stop. You got to follow Chris Christie. He's Christie 2024, baby. That's our guy. Because he just wants unity. He just wants us all to get along. That's the unity. That's scary. No, I mean, it's scary in that that's what even some Republicans think. That all we have to do is acquiesce. All you have to do is stop the fight, stop arguing with us, just stop it, and it'll all go away. The problem with that is it doesn't go away. The problem with what Chris Christie would like and what other Republicans would like for you to do, everybody, is they would like for you to just stop the nonsense, stop talking about Trump, take your bumper stickers off, stop doing all of that stuff, even talking about him, stop talking about the election, stop talking about anything that has to do with the Constitution, patriots, rule of law, stop all of that and just side with Democrats. And if you'll do that, then what Democrats will do, Chris Christie, if you don't know this by now, and maybe you don't, but what they'll do is they'll continue to dox you, destroy you, go after you, ruin your businesses. I got plenty of examples if you want. Do you want to talk about what happened to Parler? Do you want to talk? I mean, you know this. Do you want to talk about what the PGA is doing to strip Bedminster of the 2022 PGA Championship? Why do you think they're doing that? I can go down the line of all of the things that are happening. The chairwoman of Mozilla, Mozilla, do you use Firefox on your computer, is saying that we need to do more than deplatform. Really? Do you want to guess what some of that is? Would you like to talk about the business Stripe, the payment processor Stripe that has decided to blacklist the Trump campaign? If you try to buy any merchandise at Donald J. Trump at the website, if you want to buy a hat or a mug or something else, you can't do it. It's gone because who was it? Shopify decided to take the site down. They weren't going to host it any longer. So don't you get it? You think that unity is just being with Democrats, agreeing with them, and they'll leave you alone. And that's where you're a fool, because they have no intention of doing that. The media has no intention of doing that. The left in this country has no intention of doing that. So the ideological fight, hear me, the ideological fight doesn't stop, does it? You're just gonna do whatever the media and all of these people who want to dox you out of existence, you're just gonna, all right, I give up. I'm not. I know you aren't either. Because we have to continue to call out what we see. Can I take one call before we go to break? Yeah, I'll take one call. Is Eric on a goat farm? Jake, is that person still there? Eric, and you're calling from a goat farm?
Man, I am. I had my hands up inside and pulling a baby out.
What? I don't. What do you? Okay, I don't need details of what happens on goat farms.
Let me get this app.
By the way, I've witnessed that myself. What the baby in the goat farm? Okay, go ahead.
All right, my face is clean now. We can talk.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Go, Eric.
Hey, can we go after Nancy Pelosi for lying against our president? The greatest president, by the way, we've ever had.
Yeah, the answer is no. Lying, people lie all the time. Nancy Pelosi and others, you can't go after somebody for lying.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah. I'd love to see her out of office.
Yeah. Well, listen, good luck with the baby goats.
Hey, God bless you. Have a nice day.
God bless you too, Eric. 239-479-5592. I did witness that once. I did. Somebody, do you need it? You don't want it. It's pretty. Yeah, I hear the music playing. It's like, don't bother talking about when baby goats and how they, and the visual of it. It's like, if you're watching on YouTube, it's hard to explain. 239-479-5592. All right, it's time to do Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Why are we doing this today? Because it's a good civic lesson. That's why. Civics is something we need our kids to be involved with as well, and even some adults. And we need to just lighten things up a little bit. Can't keep talking about Nancy Pelosi, because otherwise it becomes ridiculous.
Bowl of doggy do.
All right. 5th caller right now. We'll take your call next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A couple crashes on Daniels Parkway. There's a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard that's slowing traffic for a mile and a half heading west to Gateway. So really keep that in mind as you're heading out of Lehigh. Also a crash at Daniels and Plantation, slowing traffic westbound on Daniels starting from 6 Mile. There is a crash as well on Colonial. This is at Dynasty, which is slowing traffic heading west of Tree Line towards I-75. But Colonial is still faster than Daniels Parkway. The Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
73 degrees for your Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy. We are going to see some occasional light to moderate rain passing by with a mostly cloudy sky. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them too. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters, made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Richard. Richard's in beautiful L.A. Hey, Richard, how are you today?
I'm good, Drew. How are you?
I'm well. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD or associate's degree question, sir. Starts right now. Let's see. Richard, when George W. Bush was president of these United States, who was the vice president of the United States?
Dick Cheney.
That's correct, sir. All right, and I got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's on this question. We elect a United States senator, and then that person is elected to serve for how many years?
6.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Let's see. How many in the Bush family have campaigned for the presidency?
3.
That is correct. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. What famous phrase did Nancy Reagan coin to keep kids away from drugs and alcohol?
Just say no.
That is correct, sir. Look at you. Good job, Richard, in L.A. Congratulations, the smartest man on your phone, and it should say that. Actually, when your ringer rings, it should say that. Smartest man on your phone.
I think I'm going to make that up.
Why don't you? Well, you can't make it up now because I just made it up, and so really, it's theft. It's really you're just stealing my idea, which is okay. And actually, it's only theft if I say you can't do it. You can't do it, Richard. Right. All right. Well, congratulations to you, sir, and thanks for playing, and we always appreciate it. So have a fantastic day. All right. We're going to take a break in just a little bit, and when we come back, there's so many things to get to. Including the latest on impeachment. I wonder if people are talking about Republicans like we need to deprogram them. Oh, yeah. Hey, that just popped up on MSNBC from the Washington Post's Eugene Robinson. You know, you all need to be deprogrammed. When Joe Biden's the slogan for, I guess it's the slogan is America United. Is that the new rally cry for Joe Biden? When the inaugurations, America United, really? Is it just a few of you? Because maybe you should start listening to some of your Democrat friends and allies as far as what they think about Republicans. Yeah, they're not interested in unity at all. So we're going to get to that audio. Also, man, there's so many things to talk about. Idaho, North Idaho, did a ISP server make the decision to block Facebook and Twitter for its customers? Why did they do that? Why would an ISP block Facebook and Twitter? What was their explanation? And could we see more of this on the way? It may sound good on the surface and interesting, but we'll have to dig into that a little bit. And also, man, I have to bring this up again because I saw this article in Breitbart. And I think it's an important topic to talk about, which is this. The Smithsonian is starting to curate and collect items, or the curators there are collecting items from the siege on the Capitol last Wednesday. Why do you suppose they're archiving protest signs, banners, and posters from the quote-unquote Stop the Steal rally? They say one thing, but I wonder if it's something else. I'll explain coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
You know, for me personally, one of the things I love about Pentair, my water system in my home, is just peace of mind and the confidence that my family and my friends that come over are going to love the way my water tastes. And that's a good thing. Not just the taste, but the hard water drying out your skin and hair, damaging your appliances. It's a reason why it's doing all of that, because of what's in it. Call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. Find out what your water's doing in your home. You're going to love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system like I do, and there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. Well, what is it? They're all trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water, so they know about what's going on here in Southwest Florida. You can have a wide range of water treatment options right in front of you, and they can install your new Pentair water system for you. Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system that is certified to reduce 99% of lead. And right now, you can save 15% on your whole home water system. 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myShowerDoor.com.
Got water?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friend.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
The first vote is tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. House Democrats starting the process they hope gets President Trump out of office before Joe Biden takes over in 8 days. Congressman David Cicilline told Fox they must
stand up and defend against an effort to overthrow a duly elected president.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, House Democrats will start a 24-hour clock for Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment, which he is expected to ignore before moving on one article of impeachment, incitement of insurrection. Republican Congressman Ken Buck, who opposes impeachment, told The Story with Martha McCallum a full investigation of the Capitol has not been done.
I think we know some of the things that happened during the day, but we don't know all the things that happened.
Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger has said he would vote to impeach. Politico reports House GOP Conference Chair Liz Cheney is considering it. Dave?
Rachel, there's something else being worried about.
Fox News has learned there are security concerns from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle ahead of an impending impeachment vote because measures like fencing and National Guard deployment are not fully in place.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says President Trump told him he does accept some blame for last week's Capitol attack. And later today, the president will make his first public appearance since addressing the rally of protesters last week. They'll go to Texas to tout border wall construction. The CDC wants everyone over age 65 to get the coronavirus vaccine. As the AP reports, the Trump administration's pushing states to pick up the speed and the pace of shots.
Coast to coast, medical experts say the effort is falling behind. According to the CDC, nationally, 65% of vaccines remain unused.
Fox's Alex Hogan. They filled the streets in Tuscaloosa last night, celebrating Alabama's next college football championship. The Crimson Tide rolled over Ohio State 52-24. America's listening to Fox News.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? Yeah, they're coming, but you can do a lot more than just wait. See, you have the power to help slow the spread. Actually, you could be a real difference maker and protect your family and loved ones, too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them, too, no matter how far apart you are. And, of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports that masks protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them from particles that carry the virus. And wash your hands, using soap and water for 20 seconds, and do it frequently. Watch your distance, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Simple, effective, and along with vaccines, they're how you can make a big difference.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
While flags have been at half-staff honoring...
Wink News, traffic.
A couple crashes on Daniels Parkway. There's a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard that's slowing traffic for a mile and a half heading west to Gateway. So really keep that in mind as you're heading out of Lehigh. Also a crash at Daniels and Plantation, slowing traffic westbound on Daniels starting from 6 Mile. There is a crash as well on Colonial. This is at Dynasty, which is slowing traffic heading west of Treeline towards I-75. But Colonial is still faster than Daniels Parkway. That's Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler, with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by. Even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out, all the way towards your Friday, before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning. And that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
Whether you're a homeowner or a contractor who wants the finest countertops, choose Rock Solid, a company you can trust.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 J&C Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Stay on top of the latest news and information from Fox News. Listen and download the Fox News Hourly Update on your time. The trending stories you need anytime you want it. Listen and download now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Subscribe and listen to the Trey Gowdy Podcast.
It skews our thinking when all we see on television or read online or in papers or experience on social media is negative. It skews the proportions. When it is all you see, you tend to think it is all that exists, and we have to be more disciplined. It's not only not all that exists, it's not even the majority of what exists.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
The Fox News Rundown is a weekday morning podcast that dives deep into the major and controversial stories of the day. Hosted by the anchors of Fox News Radio. Subscribe now to hear a perspective of news you won't find anywhere else. Listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're here. And look at you. Look at me. Look at you. Look at me. They're on YouTube and Facebook, both at Drew Steele Radio. You can go to facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. You can go to YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. YouTube, you can subscribe. Facebook, you can like. And you can watch for the time being. I mean, as long as they have me. Here we are. And anytime you want to call or text, 239-479-5592. I'm looking at the bank of phone calls, Jake. Just want to make sure they're still there. So if it looks like there's an open line if you want to call. And we'll get to those calls coming up in just a minute. On the way, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you need to be reprogrammed, deprogrammed. You're dangerous. You're a problem. And if you are a Trump supporter, if you're a Republican, if you're a conservative, you need to be deprogrammed. Oh, I'm not kidding. That's the exact language that's being used on MSNBC today. And how I think somebody needs to beep, 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 get on the ham radio or get onto, get onto the phonograph or get onto something to get the message over to Joe Biden that America United, this new slogan that he's going to be running with for inauguration. Yeah, he might want to talk to his peeps about that because apparently they're not on board. So we're going to get to that in just a second. And again, I brought this up earlier, and I think this is an important discussion to have. How many times have you heard in history to the victors get the spoils? And not only to the victors do they get the spoils of whatever that would be, whether it's gold, whether it is treasure, whatever it may be. But some might also say that when you have that kind of control, you also get to interpret history the way that you want to and change what people learn about that historical moment. And is that something that we're going to see played out in this country? That's my concern, and I'll explain that coming up in just a second. Again, 239-479-5592, anytime you want to call and text. I saw this story on Wink News this morning, and I know a lot of people were concerned about it, and it just seems look, things, the moment you think to yourself, things could not be this bad. I mean, it's not like, for all the people that say things are bad, it's not like they're writing the word Trump on the back of a Florida manatee or anything like that. Until you see the story from Wink News, and there it is. The Center for Biological Diversity. What is that? What is the Center for Biological Diversity? Anyway, okay. They're offering a $5,000 award Monday after a manatee was found with the word Trump written on its back. Okay, number one, who's got the time to do this? Who's doing this? Well, obviously they don't know. They're looking. Written on it? How do you write on the back of a... remind you, doing this to a manatee or going near a manatee or touching a manatee is highly illegal, so nobody is suggesting this is a good thing, but I got questions. According to the Center for Biological Diversity and their press release, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission began investigating after a manatee was discovered with the writing on its back in the area of the Homosassa River. Now, they're saying that the manatee doesn't appear to be seriously injured because the word was written in algae on the animal's back. So is it? So what I'm trying to understand is how did they do this? There's just not enough detail here for me. Because there are some people that are saying it was carved into the back. Well, it wasn't carved into the back. It was written in algae. So does that mean there's algae on the back of the manatee, and then they kind of wiped away the algae, and then they made the word Trump? Is that what they did? I don't know. People are still trying to find out. Obviously, Endangered Species Act, they're protected. Harassment, we know, and we've seen this before. Knuckleheads trying to ride on the back of, $50,000 fine and up to a year in prison. So this is a certainly a valuable lesson. And kids, valuable lesson for you kids. Don't do drugs. So yeah, again, there's something weird about this. I don't know why. It just seems like you put. So the Center for Biodiversity said Trump was carved into the back of a manatee, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife is saying it wasn't seriously injured. It was just written in algae. It was okay. Who's the Center for Biological Diversity anyway? I went to their Twitter page. They have a statement that's pinned to the top of their page, the executive director. I thought this was interesting, from the Center for Biological Diversity. I have no idea what that means or what they do. But they did have something to say about what happened last Wednesday. The Center for Biological Diversity condemns the seditious, violent storming of the U.S. Capitol and the political leaders who fomented it and fed the fire with months of lies about Trump's election loss. It's sickening but utterly predictable to see Trump's mob raise a Confederate flag in the Senate. Trump aggressively weaponized racism from the beginning to end of his presidency. Make no mistake, Trump will continue to try to see. Do I need to go on with what they think and what they think of the president and what they think of? Okay, you get the idea. I'm assuming they're not fans. So anyway, it just seems weird that they found a manatee, the words Trump written on the back that they claimed was carved into the back of a manatee, put this out. They're giving a reward to find out who did this cruel mutilation. Now, it is cruel and it shouldn't happen, and it's horrible that somebody would do this, but I don't know. I'm just wondering who the Center for who are they and what they do and what they do specifically. What is biological diversity? It's like some people get to be biological and some don't, or diversity of. Anyway, all right, 239-479-5592. I don't know, that story, the whole story just disturbs me. It's horrible that they're doing this to manatees. You shouldn't be doing that. All right, what did I want? Oh, yeah, here's what I wanted to get to. Hey, listen, apparently the Center for Biological Diversity is not exactly into a unity with Trump supporters or people that support the Constitution and the rule of law, the president himself. They've made that clear on their website. So I'm sure when Joe Biden, the future president of the United States, says America United, I'm pretty sure that they're on board with that, right? Like, we wouldn't want to do anything different and be unified with even Republicans, even those people. You know, you conservatives, people who believe in the Constitution, the rule of law. Yeah, you want to be unified with them as well. As long as they, change in some way. Here's the Washington Post. Here's WAPO's Eugene Robinson on MSNBC. He has some thoughts on what should happen to Republicans. Hey, check this out for unity.
We have, there are millions of Americans, almost all white, almost all Republicans, who somehow need to be deprogrammed. It's as if they are members of a cult, the Trumpist cult, and who have to be deprogrammed. Do you have any idea how we start that process?
Your unity on display there. You think that, like, you think that agreeing with the left and Nancy Pelosi and impeaching the president, and if you're a Republican there on Capitol Hill, or you're somebody here in the community, that if you agree with them and we got to get rid. It's time to get rid of Trump. He's got to be out of the office. You think that makes everything go away? You think that makes everything better? That you think that makes you one of the good guys? Okay, they want to deprogram you, and they're not kidding. Where's the unit? How do we go about doing that? Hey, do conservatives talk about reprogramming or deprogramming the left? Where do we put that? Do we put them in a central location and have courses? Are they online courses? Who gets to do the online courses? Clearly, it's not going to be places like Parler or anything like that. I mean, we'll make sure that it's the approved websites that you can go to that will be the ones to deprogram you and have you thinking differently. Because I'm not saying that it's kind of sick, that kind of way of talking about it, but again, why am I bringing all this up? And why am I focusing on this? Because there's a couple of fundamental truths that are here that you can't deny. Number one, the left hates you. Democrats, maybe they're not fans of yours. I'm not saying every single one of them hates you, and I'm not saying every single one of Democrats are bad. Their ideology is not good. But they certainly, and Nancy Pelosi, they have no intention on having you come on over, and all you have to do, we just hug it out. It's like you just have a moment of clarity where you just cry in our arms. It's okay. It's all right, buddy. It's okay. Everything's fine. We know 4 years it was a mess, but you're back, right? Yeah, no. They want to destroy you. They want to deprogram you, whatever that means. They want to make sure that your businesses don't succeed. They want to shut you down. That's the fact, Jack. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when it comes to what our kids and our grandkids are going to know about these times and this day, what does that look like? And I saw this story this morning, and it made me think of a conversation I had with my wife. I think it was yesterday. We have to be diligent, vigilant. I'm trying to think of the right word. To make sure that if we care about our past, if we care about our history, that we don't go to websites and people that we are told to go to that will give us a 3-minute snippet of what history is and was. And certainly we don't want to do that on the interwebs, because Al Gore was in charge of that. And right, didn't Al Gore invent the internet? So if Al Gore's got something to do with it, big tech probably is not hanging to the right of things, if you know what I'm saying. But we need to, again, be sure that when we go to our history, we go to the contextual. We go to the written language of the fathers, the founding fathers. We go back to those times. We go back to what is the closest and direct reflection on what was happening in the day and in the time, and refuse to go to places that editorialize or decide to do this with their vision in mind. What am I getting at? The Smithsonian and curators from the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History are collecting items from Wednesday's protest and siege on the U.S. Capitol for its political and military history division. They're archiving signs, banners, and protests from the Stop the Steal rally and the riots that took place at the U.S. Capitol, according to the New York Times. They want to curate. They want to acquire everything that happened to this day. And what I'm asking is, when they do that, and when they present that at the Smithsonian, are you really sure that the presentation of those items are going to speak? Well, let's just put it this way. Are they going to represent exactly what was happening at the time and what was going on specifically? Or are they going to generalize it to an audience, to people that will come to the museum and will get a gauge of what happened through their lens, how it's presented? Who were the people that were the problems? Who the individuals were, or will it be a group? Will it be the president of the United States inciting the riots, specifically telling people to go to the Capitol and break through the doors? He didn't do that. Is that the impression that will be given? I don't know what it's going to look like, but I am concerned about who gets to dictate to our kids and our grandkids about what history really was at this moment in time. Just try to Google anything that has to do with these days. You know this. That what comes up is all the left-leaning liberal outlets that will give you the 30 seconds you need, or the 3-minute you need, or the quick read-through of what they are going to tell you happened in this time period on this date. And that stays. And how important it is for you to make sure that for your kids and grandkids into the future, that you focus on those who are writing of the times, to research. If you're going to go back in history, and you're going to go to the time of our founding or any other time in our history, to contextually go to those individuals that were writing about it at the time to get the true story and do the work, the homework that others won't do. All they'll do is editorialize, and it's not going to get any better, especially from academia, who would like to make a change. Just putting that out there. And don't write Trump on the back of manatees. 239-479-5592. See how that works, Jake? It goes right from here, and all of a sudden, we put a nice little bow on it. Beep. There you go. That's how this program works. It sounded good. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A couple crashes on Daniels Parkway. There's a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard that's slowing traffic for a mile and a half heading west to Gateway. So really keep that in mind as you're heading out of Lehigh. Also a crash at Daniels and Plantation, slowing traffic westbound on Daniels starting from 6 Mile. There is a crash as well in Colonial. This is at Dynasty, which is slowing traffic heading west of Treeline towards I-75. But Colonial is still faster than Daniels Parkway. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
73 degrees for your Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy. We are going to see some occasional light to moderate rain passing by with a mostly cloudy sky. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Way. And then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
I'm about to say a dirty word. A really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy or an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
Hey, it's True Steel, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
You probably know Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. Healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Did you know that every day 1,000 people move to Florida? Many come from New York, and it's easy to see why. Because Florida does it better. In Florida, we have a balanced budget, term limits, and a part-time legislature. Even though Florida has 3 million more residents, New York's annual budget is twice the size of Florida's. Here in Florida, we have no state income tax and a balanced budget. New York has a state income tax, but is still $13 billion in debt. When COVID hit, New York closed their economy, and it's still closed. But here in Florida, we're open for business. And finally, New York is governed by Democratic Socialists, but Florida's been governed by Republicans for over 3 decades. So if you moved here from New York, welcome home, and remember, the redder the state, the better the state. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. I'm proud to be a Floridian. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
A couple crashes on Daniels Parkway. There's a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard that's slowing traffic for a mile and a half heading west to Gateway. So really keep that in mind as you're heading out of Lehigh. Also a crash at Daniels and Plantation, slowing traffic westbound on Daniels starting from 6 Mile. There is a crash as well on Colonial. This is at Dynasty, which is slowing traffic heading west of Tree Line towards I-75. But Colonial is still faster than Daniels Parkway. That's Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Tuesday, keep it on the safe side. Bring the umbrella just in case, as we will see some off and on spotty showers, a lot of which will be some light to moderate rain. A lot of clouds, temperatures only in the lower to middle 70s, and in fact, your Wednesday's even cooler with highs in the upper 60s. By the second half of your Wednesday, some scattered rain will be passing by, even a few of those showers hanging into your Thursday morning before we dry out all the way towards your Friday. before we see another cold front and a chance of rain for late Friday into Saturday morning, and that's going to keep the weekend chilly with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Man, it is cloudy outside. I'm not sure where you are in Southwest Florida, but here in the Fort Myers area, man, it is just... I know it's cloudy because my son's like, where's the sun? Did I get up too early? No, it's 8:35. All right, when we come back from the top 5 audio clips of the day, which is on the way, the 5 at 8:35 that we do each and every day, we'll take your calls. We do the thing as we lead up to the end of the program, whatever it is on your mind, anything that we talked about, it's the thing that's coming up. But first, top 5 audio clips of the day. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Yeah, listen, I think they're all going to have to vote their conscience and look at what happened. I mean, what we had was an incitement to riot at the United States Capitol. We had people killed, and to me, there's not a whole lot of question here. So,
So you think it was an impeachable offense?
Before Jordan. Oh, sure.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering where Chris Christie's... I mean, I know I say that. I can't even say it with a straight face. I know all of you are thinking to yourself, hey, I wonder what Chris Christie thinks about all of this. Yeah, he believes that, I guess apparently that the president, is that what he's saying? That the president was inciting a riot and it's his fault that everything took place and so that's an impeachable offense? I mean, it's clear as day. Hey, can you find me the language exactly that he said specifically about going and breaking into the Capitol building and inciting a riot? Can you give me that? Because I have yet to see it yet. But I mean, if Chris Christie says, I mean, it's gold, right? Said, I don't think anyone ever.
Number 4.
We have, there are millions of Americans, almost all white, almost all Republicans, who somehow need to be deprogrammed. It's as if they are members of a cult, the Trumpist cult, and who have to be deprogrammed. Do you have any idea how we how we start that process.
I just want you to understand that is the Washington Post's Eugene Robinson on MSNBC, and I just want you to understand there's love in his voice. There's absolute love in his voice. He cares about you, and it's all about unity. And the only reason why he says that you, as a white Republican, someone who supported the president and believes that it was like a cult, you need to be deprogrammed, is out of complete love. It's not hatred. It's not that they want to go after you. It's not that it's good enough that you give up. You have to give up and also be deprogrammed and doxxed and possibly businesses destroyed and everything else. No. That's not what it is. It's really all about the love. That's what it is. Any of you Democrats have a problem with that, or do you all agree that Republicans, conservatives, people who believe in the rule of law, we all need to be deprogrammed? How are you going to go about doing that?
Number 3.
We simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We will have nothing left to open.
Oh, all right. Wow. Is that Andrew Cuomo, the governor, yesterday saying, listen, we got to figure that we can't stay closed forever when it comes to COVID. I mean, we can't stay closed until it hits critical mass. The vaccine cost us, we won't have anything left. We got to kind of do this smartly and safely and start to open up a little bit. It's almost as if, I don't know, it's weird. There's a couple of things that come to mind. It's almost as if like there's not enough tax dollars coming into the coffer and oh boy, we're in trouble. I don't know, man, that wouldn't be it. It's certainly about the health and smartly and safety aspect of it. I mean, is it because there's a chance the Buffalo Bills might be going to the Super Bowl and maybe he wants to be able to go to the game and other? I'm just throwing out weird, silly scenarios. I mean, it's just because he cares and nothing about the way he messed up before. Moving on.
Number 2.
Is going to vote the day after tomorrow on impeachment. It seems like House Speaker Pelosi is going to have the votes. Is there any scenario where you see that the U.S. Senate would try and convict President Trump?
I don't see any of that because, if there will be 48 Democrats until we seat Warnock and Senator Ossoff. So until that happens, you need 67 votes. I think my arithmetic, that means we have 19 Republicans. I don't see that, and I think the House should know that also.
Yeah, they should know that also, but they don't care. There's Senator Joe Manchin, who is really the one voice that stands in the way of Democrats doing whatever they want to do, whether it's about statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico, whether it's about packing the courts, and whether it's even about impeachment. On Brett Baer's program yesterday, it's like, well, you don't have the numbers. You can't do this. Why are we doing this now? Oh, there's a reason why. We'll get to that in just a second. You bet there is.
Number 1.
House Resolution 21, resolution calling on Vice President Michael R. Pence to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the executive departments of the cabinet to activate Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office and to immediately exercise powers as acting president.
Yeah, and that went down yesterday. And just in case you're wondering what it sounds like when they invoke the 25th Amendment there on the House floor against the President of the United States, and how's that going to go?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, and they know it, and we already know that. And Mike Pence giving no indication that would be the case. So it really comes down to impeachment, and it comes down to the fact that all you need to know about impeachment and Nancy Pelosi is the only thing that Nancy Pelosi cares about is that she would deny the president the chance to run for office in 2024. Why would you want to do that? If 100 days goes by and the Senate decides to take this up, a Senate that now will have the numbers that they need 100 days from now, let's say 3 months from now, and take this up again and impeach a president that's not even in office, the only reason why you do that is to destroy a legacy or to destroy the opportunity for the president to be able to run again in 2024. And what are you afraid of? Why do you do that? What's the fear? I mean, clearly, if we all need to be deprogrammed, then it's crazy, and the president is out of control, and look at what a horrible job that he did for the 4 years he was in office, and it's clear as day, and everything else is out there, then shouldn't the record speak for itself? Shouldn't that all speak for that, or is there something else going on here? What are you afraid of? I'm just throwing that out there. 239-479-5592 if you would like to call. We're going to get ready to do the thing that is taking all your phone calls coming up in just a second as we lead out of the program. By the way, I just wanted to mention this. Two things. Yesterday, I guess, I don't know, maybe Jake the Millennial, aren't you from, or is your family in Alabama? Or is it Arkansas? Where is your family from? Didn't you live?
From here. I'm a 9th generation Floridian.
Okay, but didn't you live there at one point, or where did you live?
For about 4 or 5 years.
In Alabama?
In Northwest Nauvoo. It's North Never Eats. Northwest.
Okay. What did you do? Did you just do a never eat? Is that the way you remember the compass? Like by doing never eats? Okay. Yeah, so did you know they played a football game yesterday, and they're the national championships, Alabama? Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. What's new? That's like, what, 17? That they have?
Rubbing it in for those that feel differently, all those Ohio State fans. That's not very nice of you to do. But I thought it was interesting that Clay Travis brought this up. He said, thank you in a Twitter feed. Thank you to all the players, coaches, parents, commissioners, league officials, and fans who refused to listen to the Corona bros and sports media and found a way to make this college football season happen in a safe and healthy way, no matter the obstacles. Tremendous accomplishment. What is he talking about? Do you remember early on, CBS Sports and other places said, and they predicted that there would be maybe 3 to 7 college football players that would die from COVID if we went ahead with the season. They remember that? They wanted to completely shut down the season. And how some were saying things like, if you do the numbers and you check it out and you look at a full semester, full complete semester, have there even been 7 college students, forget about athletes, but college students, all students, everybody that have been confirmed coronavirus deaths? Yet the schools are continuing their draconian restrictions and testing policies, insanity upon insanity. It was Alex Berenson on his Twitter account, former New York Times reporter, who was writing that. And all the calls about what was going to happen time and time again, it was at the University of Illinois and other places where people were saying, I guarantee there's going to be deaths, guarantee it. And that didn't take place. And again, it does call attention to what is and isn't when it comes to COVID. Nobody's saying it's not real. Nobody's saying that people are not affected. Nobody is saying that there are probably people that you know that have been affected by COVID, maybe even have passed because of COVID, not with COVID. There are many, many, many things that we know about it. And that last night proved a couple of points to people and how much people are willing to do. And why would they do it, knowing the numbers and knowing what it means, unless it's about something else? Control? I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. 239-479-5592. Jake, all the numbers, all the lines are there. I guess we'll go. If you want to call right now and just let me know what you think about whatever. What's your thing? Do the thing right now.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, let's go to, is Greg there? Greg in Naples? I think Greg is still holding on. We're going to find out in just a second. Oh, there's Greg. Greg, what's your thing this morning, sir?
My thing is where they're talking about the president and they're making these accusations when everyone can go back and look at what he actually said and nothing indicated any violence. But then in turn, the Democrats allowed an entire summer. Pelosi saying, people are people. They're going to do what they're going to do. What they're going to do. Nadler saying, oh, it's your imagination. Even Kamala, oh, they're going to do it now. They're going to do it after the election. And she was also promoting, bailing everybody out and raising money to bail them out. If anyone is guilty of inciting riots, it has been the Democratic Party for the entire year. And then they turn around and they try, but the problem is not so much that they do it, it's that they do it effectively because they just say what they want to say and then they hold the party line to it. Where the Republicans either play dead or, unfortunately, in many cases, they roll over and they're just as complicit because they play along. Until the Republican Party starts fighting as rigorously and as adamantly as the Democratic Party,
ideologically speaking, that is.
Well, yes, but they're going to continue to win over I mean, here's an election. There are all these disparities, but in turn, nobody on the Republican side has, there's some.
Now, wait a second. Let me just stop. Hold on a second there, Greg. Let me play the other side of this. Let me just ask you this question, and hold on a second. And this is almost rhetorical, so just hold your voice for just a second, Greg. I just want you to listen, sir. You can't give me one example of Democrats that would suggest violence or anything like that. Not one.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
All right. Well, maybe there's one. No, wait a second. No, okay, that's just one. That's just one, sir. You can't give me two. You can't give me a second person that would.
Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
Well, maybe there's two, or I mean, he's just saying we kick them. Like maybe he meant like kicking back and hanging out with them and just kind of enjoying their company. I think you're just reading it all wrong, Greg.
No, I'm not reading it wrong. I know that those are out there. The problem is nobody is standing hard, long, and fast above and beyond you and your show. I'm talking about those on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
The ones that sitting there saying that they agree the president was wrong in this. I mean, how readily they're willing to give this man up to what? Keep their seat?
So how does that change, Greg, in your opinion?
Well, we need to actually keep track of who these people are and consider them just as treasonous as the Democrats. And when it comes time for re-election, everybody gets a list of who didn't stand by the Republican Party, who didn't stand by the President of the United States. This man's, like you said, many occasions, this man's put up with this for 4 going on 5 years. This is insane. And yet, how do they still win out? How do they manage to get beyond all the supposed barriers that are there, so that one branch of of our government can't take control? And again, they allowed
No, I know, Greg. It's frustrating, and listen, I do appreciate the call this morning, and you call anytime. Thanks so much. 239-479-5592, and we have to hold our elected officials accountable. And look, I'm tired of saying it. I got to be honest with you. To Greg's point, I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of saying every school board member, every commissioner, everybody locally on a state and national level. I'm tired of saying hold them accountable. And then at the end of the day, you don't do anything. At the end of the day, you don't hold them accountable. At the end of the day, if something's going wrong, if there's an issue with, let's say, the school board, and you're like, no, my kid's learning, I'm okay. No. You don't know what's going on with your tax dollars. You're not listening to the things that are going on with board members. If it's about somebody else, if it's somebody in the state legislature and there's something going on here when it comes to, I don't know, pick a topic, don't ignore it. Don't sit back and say, oh, well, they're really nice. Well, you know what? If they're not doing something right by the people, their constituents, and it's blatant, then stop saying things like we're going to hold them accountable. And then the end of the day, don't do it. Do it. From now on, you do it. We've got to be better about that. And listen, if you're somebody that's listening to the sound of my voice and you're upset and mad at me for saying that because you are holding them accountable, then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the others, and you know who you are. Who, talk the talk, but then when it comes to walking that walk, you don't dot the circle or pull the lever or push the button or whatever the case may be, wherever you are. You understand what I'm saying. All right, let's see. Let's go to, all right, Don's in Naples. Don wanted to weigh in on the last caller. Is that your thing this morning, Don? Is Don there? Is it Jake, who's on line 3? Oh, well, who is this talking right now? What's your name?
Don.
Oh, it is Don, and you're in Naples.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Don. What's your thing?
Yeah, you just had asked Greg the question about how do we change this. My insight on this is simply the Republican Party is as much of an issue for Americans to overcome as anything. I think the only turnaround to this, personally, is if we have a party that gives an option to clear out both sides. it appears that when people get in there, they fall in line with the parties and forget who they're representing. And they end up representing themselves instead of us.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way we're going to turn this around.
And Don, to your point, let me ask this rhetorical question, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it there in Naples, and it's this. It was Steve Dace on this program who brought this up just last week when he talked about, a third party. And when people get all, no, don't do that third party. Don't you understand? If we have a third party, then Democrats will win. They're winning now. They're winning with one party. So the party has a choice. Either they're going to fight, rhetorically speaking, to win, ideologically speaking, that is, to win, or somebody else is going to come along and challenge a party that is going to want to try to gain. And if that means there are losses in the meantime, then so be it, to clear out what has been a party that has not been, to Don's point and many other people, on your side all the time, willing to battle in the arena and go to bat for you. Look, if you're a Republican, if you're somebody in the establishment, if you're somebody who's part of the party hierarchy, and you're listening to me saying this, and you're palm firmly implanted in forehead, and you don't want to hear it, and it upsets you, then let's talk. Let's talk about it. And to Steve Dace's point, there's a lot of losing going on when it comes to the party specifically, and you know what I mean. I mean, when there are individuals who talk a big talk, and then when it comes to walking the walk there in D.C. or even at the state legislature level, and they don't walk it. They come back and they say, "Oh, I did what I could," or in their minds they're saying, "I said what I had to say. That's okay. They'll come back another 2 years. They love me." No, we don't always. So, all right, I'm looking at the time, Jake. We should probably head out right now. But I always appreciate the thing. I always appreciate you calling. We're keeping an eye on what is going on tomorrow in the vote and Nancy Pelosi and the intentions. And we all know what this is about. And look, it is humorous that Joe Biden and the inauguration and the slogan is America United. Can we check ourselves here? If you're a part of the Democrat Party on that, or liberals out there, really, is that who's? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the weather. I don't know. It's awfully cloudy today. See what's happening here for the remainder of the forecast. Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt has it.
73 degrees for your Tuesday. Keep the umbrella handy. We are going to see some occasional